Schrupp, physical therapist.
And I'm Brad Heineck, physical therapist. Watch out.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Yes, we are, and we have fun doing this. And
In our opinion.
Yes, in our opinion. Sorry, Bob. I'm
All
going to
right.
get that right.
We're going to talk about the Restorator today, and that is spelled R-E-S-T-O-R-A-T-O-R, Restorator.
And this is a Restorator, and they make different kinds of restorators, but we're going to talk about this style. And why do they call it a Restorator, Bob?
We don't know.
We really don't know.
So we're not going to get into that, but we're going to talk about how you can use this for upper extremity strengthening and range of motion and conditioning.
In
Right?
other words, for your arms, yeah.
For your arms.
Okay, so this is a nice, inexpensive Restorator that's going to hold up and last for you. Let's go about through how you use it, and then I'll talk about where you
What do
should
you
get one
consider
from.
inexpensive, Brad?
Anything less than $50
All right,
for something
so
like this.
this probably runs what, about, you said 30?
Yeah, I just looked online. You can get them for $30. I've seen them for as little as $10 to $15, and they are absolutely worthless. So do not spend.
Don't go to the low end, in other
Right,
words. You're going to
right.
have to go up a little bit to get something
Right.
decent.
I've had patients get the cheap ones. They brought them in. They're bolted together with these little wimpy screws. They fall apart. They are just not worth purchasing.
All right.
So spend a little bit more money. Get something nice. This one happens to be a Temco, T-E-M-C-O. Manufacturer made this one. It's welded together. It's got nice rubber pads that help hold it still. The pads are where you hold on with your hands. The
Yeah.
pedals work well. These straps here, don't even worry about those. I'll talk about those more with your feet, but just you can cut them off if you're just going to use them for hands, because all you're going to do is grab it here. There is a resistance knob here, which really is not too useful. I don't think it doesn't do too much. You can vary resistance a little bit, but this is mostly an exercise for range of motion to get your arms moving. You're not going to get them real strong, but you're going to, if
Well,
you're
you'd
real
also
weak.
you'd also get your heart rate up with this.
Yeah, you could, yep.
Especially if you're deconditioned, if you're an elderly person or
Sure,
you
exactly.
know, that
Yep.
50 and over genre.
Yes.
So
The thing about this is to get it the right height. As you can see here, I'm bending over. This would not be the ideal position to use this. What I like to do is if I get a chair,
yeah, you want to be in good posture whenever you do exercise.
up tall, shoulders up, and here, and we get it going. Now, how far away from you is important. If it's too far away, you're slunched forward. Get it up so you're tall and it feels comfortable, and you can work it. You should have no shoulder pain, maybe a little fatigue pain.
Let's talk about length of time, Brad.
Good. If you're working through this for just exercise, I would start out at about 2 to 3 minutes, depending on what your condition is before. If you're like over 60 years old and haven't been doing much at all, I would just start for a couple minutes, because you might get sore muscles.
Oh, shorter breath too.
Yeah, and shorter breath. And then go the next day. If you feel good, you want to work yourself up to 10 to 15 minutes, possibly. Okay, and the thing is to go gradually. Don't go 3 minutes one day, it feels good, don't go 15 minutes the next day. Go 3 to 5 minutes, do that for a few more days. And it might take you 2 or 3 weeks to build up to that 15 minutes.
But you're going to burn some calories with this.
Sure.
And the other thing I think cool is about this, you can do this in front of the TV. You know, I mean,
Yep.
that's a good place to put it in fact, so that every time you sit down and you're watching TV, you start doing this. Little exercise is better than none. This is excellent for someone who is, like I said, deconditioned.
Right.
It's a good way to start. We use this all the time in the clinic.
Sure,
With the elderly, to get them going, and it makes a huge difference.
Right.
I mean, these people start to get in shape.
right.
So,
You know, this is really good for someone who's in their house and they don't get out of the house very often, and they're, kind of homebound and really don't do
well, I
too
think
much.
it's great for the person who's wheelchair bound. And,
Yeah.
and also the person who can't walk very well and is worried about still getting their heart rate up
Right.
and trying to get some conditioning for their heart.
Yeah, I'm warming up already right now, literally. So it's a nice unit. So again,
For the right person, it's the right unit.
absolutely.
So.